Hi everyone, in this video I'm going to show you how to sew appliques onto a piece of crochet. I am sewing this cactus onto a granny square. If you're interested in this pattern, I'll link it down below in the description box. So what you'll need is a tapestry needle, and when you make your appliques, just make sure you leave long tails. So I left a long tail for this green portion as well as a long tail for this brown portion. So I'm going to show you two different ways. The first method is a method where when you sew your applique onto your crochet piece, you won't see the sewing on the back. So with crochet, you have top loops and back loops. I'm going to pick up top loops here, and when you flip it over, you can't see the needle. So that is where we will be sewing the applique onto for this first method. So just place your applique wherever you want on your piece of crochet. You can use pins if you'd like to keep it in place to better sew on your applique. So my yarn is already behind the applique. If not, just go ahead and take your needle and poke the yarn through so it's on the back side. And then I am going to peek back here and pick up just a top loop from my square, and then I am going to come back up onto the applique, and then I'm going to go down into the next stitch, peek behind here, go through just a top loop, and come back up through the applique. So it's sewn on there here, and you can see if I flip it over, you can't see where I sewed it onto. So this is great. This is going to be a granny square blanket, so it's good to use this method if you don't want the yarn showing on the opposite side. However, if you are making a hat or if you're putting a backing on a blanket, the faster and easiest way is to just do a running stitch. You would just go down through your applique and your granny square or your piece of crochet, and then you would come back up through your granny square and through your applique, and just keep doing that all the way around. But as you can see, you will see the sewing on the back. But like I said, if you're covering up the back side, or if it's on a hat and you're not too concerned about what the back looks like, this is probably the fastest and easiest way to do so. So after I would continue to just go all the way around this cactus, I will start on this base. So since the yarn tail is down here and I'm going to start sewing up here, I'm just going to go through the back here and just put it where I would like to start. So don't pull it too tight, but make sure it's pulled pretty taut, just so there's not too much of a loose string there, or yarn. So then I would, after I sewed all this, I would just continue with my other color yarn. Then I would just continue to keep sewing on this part of the applique. So here I'm just going through the top loops. So then you won't see that on the back at all. So I'm using a bent tip needle. I find it easier to pick up the top loops. So when you're going down and picking up a top loop and then going back up, I find it much easier to use a bent tip needle. So I'll link below exactly what kind of needle this is. You can get these at Michael's or your local craft stores. So that is how you sew on an applique to a piece of crochet. I hope this was helpful. If you have any questions, please let me know in the comments below, and thank you so much for watching.